Hi
We'll have
guys,
you, Raj.
awesome. Hi guys, welcome to About the Mind podcast. I would like to welcome Ashwin to the podcast. Welcome Ashwin.
Thank you, Yuvraj. Always a pleasure to be here, as usual.
Okay, so today we'll be talking about the porn addiction epidemic. So as we know, it's a very common and it's a very widespread problem that a lot
Mm.
of people, especially men, but even the other gender, the women face. And so let's begin with defining what porn addiction is. When you say that it's an addiction.
Okay. So, just like any other addiction, it's very easy to define. You know my definition of addiction. When somebody finds a way to ignore a problem or to sidestep a problem, that's what we call addiction. Because the problem doesn't get solved. If they found a way to solve the problem, then it's not an addiction, it's a solution. But any other solution that you find that doesn't solve the problem but allows you not to deal with the problem, that's called an addiction. Strange definition, isn't it? But it's something that I found out after years and years of yogic psychotherapy. Like people who come and cry, and I would say, okay, let I've exhausted everything that I know about psychotherapy. I've exhausted everything that I know about NLP. I've exhausted everything that I know about hypnotherapy. Nothing is working on these guys. What exactly is the problem? And that's when I started finding out this that, oh, I can't solve that problem because it's not a problem. It's actually a solution. It's a it's a way to avoid the problem. So it's a makeshift. It's a kind of clumsy solution. Every addiction is a clumsy solution, and so is pornography addiction. After like everyone discovers porn, you can't escape porn. I don't think there's a single man alive today who hasn't watched porn. You know, it's that bad. The epidemic.
Yeah.
I mean, the easy availability of porn itself is an epidemic because now we don't have to actually be worthy mates to anyone. We can get the most worthy of mates in our imagination, and our body doesn't know the difference. The body starts thinking, "Hey, man, I'm mating with everybody in this world." So it releases a lot of serotonin. You feel damn good about yourself, and you forget all your problems. You just forget it. Like you don't even want to solve it. So you can have a health problem, you can have a relationship problem, you can have money problem, you can have some other problem like a legal problem, and you can be addicted to porn and do nothing about it and get worse and worse and worse until you die. So it's just as bad as any other addiction. It's absolutely the same. It's rewarding yourself without achieving anything. That's what an addiction is. An addiction is rewarding yourself without achieving anything. To get those same reward chemicals, you would have had to achieve a lot of stuff. But no, without that, you're just rewarding yourself. That's what it is. I hope it's clear.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. So anytime when someone says like I had a really stressful day and I can't take it anymore, so let me just go do something else to take my mind off of that stress.
Yeah.
So are they at that point starting to engage in some sort of distraction?
Yeah, absolutely. Because most of the stress is because we can't communicate properly. We can't say two words. We can't say yes decently and we can't say no decently. This is the main problem we have stress. This is the main problem why we have stress. Okay. If you knew how to say no to someone, I mean, it's not so difficult. You say, no, I won't do it. Why? I don't want to explain it to you. I tried explaining it to you. You don't want to listen. I don't think you respect me. Please leave my life. Bye bye. People can't say this. I said it just now. It's not so hard. They find it really hard to say this. And that's why they have stress. They don't know how to say no. Or they don't know how to tell somebody that, uh, you know, um, they don't know how to ask for something. So basically, they want something, they don't know how to ask for it. So they just sit quietly and hope that their needs will be noticed. If you don't ask for your needs, you won't get it. If you don't know how to say no and fix your boundaries, you'll be stressed. If you don't know how to ask for your needs, you'll be stressed. And if you don't know how to say yes to the opportunities that are surrounding you and calling you with your name on it, It's calling, like, come here, Yuvraj, come here, Ashwin. It's calling, right? If we don't say yes to those opportunities, go jump on them, then also we'll be stressed. So even inaction stresses you, even wrong action stresses you. But it can be fixed. It's not so hard. You don't have to go get addicted to porn because you have a problem. You know, that's the rotten solution. Nobody's doing it deliberately. Nobody wants to be addicted to porn, but it's like a subconscious, like, easy path. They found it's not harmful. It doesn't kill your liver like
alcohol.
alcohol. Doesn't kill your lungs like smoking, and it's nobody needs to know about it. I mean, people eventually find out when you're spending so much time alone, all by yourself. But if you live alone, then nobody will even know that you're addicted to porn. You'll
Yeah,
just be like addicted to porn.
yeah,
So but it kills hours and hours of time, because now you've started to damage yourself. I'm sure you have those lined up in your questions. How you can damage yourself
yeah,
masturbating all day.
yeah. And it also affects relationships, maybe, if you are involved with someone. And
No, no, no. That's not how. That's putting the horse before the cart. People get
yeah,
into porn when they're in a relationship because the relationship isn't sexually working out for them. That's the reason they're into porn, because they're not getting as much sex as they want, or getting the type of sex that they want. They don't know how to ask for it, and maybe they asked for it and they got shot down. They're saying, "Oh, I don't want to even go there. How can you even think of that?" And then they got shot down, and then they're like, "Oh, damn it! I'll just stick to porn." So the relationship is already affected when somebody finds that they need porn uh, in that relationship as an addiction, to forget about it, to forget about the pain in the relationship. Porn takes it away. So I don't know. I don't think it's the porn addiction that affects relationships. I think
it's
the
just,
relationship itself has no charm, and so then people are not. I mean, look, this porn is porn. Okay, it's dramatized and exaggerated fantasies that are actually in people's mind. Otherwise, nobody will watch it.
yeah,
So these are already there in people's minds. But then, if you're obsessed about it all the time, I don't know a single person who doesn't actually watch porn or who hasn't checked it out. There might be some people who are deliberately avoiding porn because they're afraid of it. But porn is in your face. I mean, right now, even Instagram is porn, and so is Facebook now. Facebook
Facebook.
Reels. Facebook Reels is
Yeah,
literally porn. I mean, it's soft porn, right? Everything is
yeah,
titillating, 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 right? Everything around you is sexual in nature. Yes, insects, birds, birds and bees, and all trees, even trees are sexual.
yeah,
Plants are sexual. So it's natural that human beings are also sexual. There's nothing wrong with that. And if somebody says that, oh, here's a market need not being fulfilled, people are not getting enough sex, let me create porn. So that's how the first porn started, right? With Playboy and Hustler
yeah,
and all these magazines. And then in India, we had some magazines. So with all of these, the industry of porn started, and it's really an industry. People are willing to pay for it. They're willing to pay for premium porn. So if you are spending all of your money on premium porn, it is definitely safer than going to a prostitute. But you've got a problem. You, you yeah. I mean, you started to reward yourself without actually earning it. You want to be as sexual as you are, as depicted in the porn, but you have no clue how to do it. And you you have all these fantasies, and you feel that it's a good idea, but you're not solved the main problem of making a living, or you've not solved the main problem of being healthy. Those are our major problems. We run out of money and we die. So we need to solve those problems forever. If you solve the health problem and the money problem, then you can be very sexually actualized. Most people go to their deathbed without being sexually actualized. They don't have the kind of sex that they wanted to have had just because they believe it's not possible, not because they believe it's not worth it. They believe it's not possible. And then such people find refuge in porn. And first you solve your life problems, man. Then only you can think about sex. I keep telling this to young people, but they don't listen to me. You can't
Otherwise,
even earn a. Yeah, I mean,
it would become a distraction again.
yeah. If you're on Tinder before you can even earn a living. You're living in your father's house and you're on Tinder. Why? Where exactly are you going to go and have sex? I don't know. You can't even pay for a hotel room and you're on Tinder. What's wrong with people? I mean, do you really need to get on Tinder to find someone really? I mean, if you're doing something worthwhile, people will come to you. And everybody has a sexual angle to their attraction. Okay, so whoever's attracted to you in whatever, there is no platonic attraction. There's a sexual angle to it, and it's a seed, and it can be developed and actualized. But we have so much kachra against sex that we can't do all that. So we take refuge in porn. Porn sharanam gachami.
So, what harmful things can happen when you watch a lot of porn, or when you masturbate a lot?
Yeah, the first thing is that you run out of reward chemicals, okay? So your body can't keep up with producing that much reward dopamine every time you masturbate. So you don't get that reward. You stop getting aroused. This happens. If you watch too much porn every day, porn, after some time you stop getting aroused. Then you'll need to find something more kinky. You'll need to find something that you've not seen before. You've
Yeah,
gone through, in 1 year of watching porn, you've gone through more women than any of your ancestors had gone through, or
maybe
men, if whatever
maybe
you're into.
totally, maybe all ancestors combined.
All ancestors combined never had so many mating opportunities as you. You just kept changing channels, reward. And then after some time you're not excited anymore and you can't get it up. And that's called porn induced erectile dysfunction. Okay. So you're not really able to get turned on. You start having soft erections and things like that. And but still then you you keep at it and then you get into more and more kinkier stuff. You get into worse and worse things. They'll ordinary sex is not turning you on anymore. Just like ordinary sex, which is so wonderful, is not turning you on anymore. You need some miserable. I mean, you need some
Yeah,
ridiculous kink,
extreme.
like yeah, BDSM, beat people up, or cause people pain, or humiliate them, and all sorts of shit you start getting into.
Yeah,
And then you lose a lot of sleep on this. Your sleep gets affected because you're just surfing and surfing and surfing and surfing, so you don't sleep. And then what happens is that if your sleep is affected, then a lot of things start getting affected in your body. And with so much of ejaculation, you're losing a lot of minerals from your body. We were not designed to have so many mating opportunities in a day.
yeah,
We were designed maybe one mating opportunity in a day. That's about it. If you're really very sexual, maybe two. But with porn, it becomes three, four, five, as many as you can do. And so your body doesn't know like what to do. It's running short on minerals because it does prioritize your sperm. And I'm saying all this from a man's perspective, but all this holds true for women as well. If you're addicted to porn, you also lose minerals. It comes out. And yeah, but that's extreme cases. Okay, your body starts overproducing those minerals. So if you would compare porn to smoking or alcohol, then definitely the impact on the body is much less, but the impact on the mind is pretty much high. So that's the problem with so much porn, right?
Mm. Okay. So, what do you think about this movement called Nofap, where people, deliberately try to not masturbate or even not watch porn at all? I mean, it varies. Like some people may not
Hmm.
just masturbate but watch porn, or some people may say, "I will masturbate, but I won't watch porn at all." But
Hmm.
they forcibly try to avoid seeking that kind of stimulation. And from what I
Yeah,
understood from visiting those forums, they fail a lot.
yeah,
Like their goal is to go for like 90 days of no sexual stimulation, and they fail
yeah,
multiple times. So
yeah. But because they don't have any other alternative to deal with the problem comes back and stares them in the face, right? I told you what porn, what addiction is.
yeah,
So when they stop the way to avoid the problem, then the problem comes and stares them in the face, and they say, "Forget it, man. Can't handle the problem. Let me just masturbate." Then they say, "Oh, I failed," and then they think it's their willpower. You don't need willpower to give up an addiction. You need to solve the problem. Then the addiction will be gone forever. You can just drop it in one day. You need to solve the problem, or you need to find some alternative way, or you need to be working on the solution. Sometimes, once you realize that you have a problem, the solution takes you 2 or 3 years to get. You may not be able to solve it right away because you've ignored it for 10 years. It's gotten really bad, and for you to solve it itself might take 2 or 3 years. Like you're in a bad relationship, you can't just get up and leave. You don't know how to do that. You don't know how you can exist without it. So you got to figure out alternatives for everything. And then you got to be brave. Then you will be so occupied fixing your life that you won't want to fap. You don't have time for it. I mean, you can fap when you're completely relaxed and chill out and there's nothing to do. That's different. That's not addiction. That's enjoyment. But people, there's nothing wrong with masturbation, by the way. It's a valid way for you to have sex with yourself, right? So it's to explore your own sexuality. There's really nothing wrong with it. But the way people use it to avoid problems, there's something wrong with that. That's what I'm trying to say is a problem. And it's an addiction, it's a problem. Nothing wrong with masturbation. So I think the NoFap guys are just wasting their time because they're not really solving the problem. They haven't understood this, that what they're fighting is their own cowardice to deal with the problem. Their subconscious cowardice. They don't know it, but they're
yeah.
fighting it. I mean, they're hiding it. I mean, by the way, if audience, if you, any of you have questions, just type it. I'm in a mood to answer everything today. Go for it. If you have any questions, go for it.
Okay. So, does practicing NoFap would would it eventually lead to certain energy changes which make a person more attractive to the opposite gender?
I think what makes someone attractive um, is very I don't know how to put this. It's a very physical thing. It's a chemical thing. It's just chemistry. Okay, so you're able to create a connection through pheromones, which we can experience not as smells, but we can experience this as energy. We just feel that connection. It's basically horniness. Okay,
Mm. Mm.
but how to make someone horny towards you? There have been lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of con jobs there. They're called pickup artists. It's just con jobs. You can't fake this thing, and if you do, you'll regret it. Fake attraction just like falls apart. So I think the most deepest thing you can do to attract someone is to totally be yourself. And then you'll attract the kind of people who like you, who like something like you are. Okay, just be yourself. You don't have to modify anything. But stop being less than what you want to do. Like if you're fully self expressed, that means if you have a thought and you want to express it in some way, you're able to do it without worrying about anybody around you, what they'll think, that, this. You don't care. Such people are very sexy automatically. Of course, it's also physical. Right? This is where we miss it out. You need to be in good health. Good health is a sexual attractor. If you look like you have a sickness, then it's not so sexually attractive. It's true. What is sex? We're looking for a mate to have a child, and we want them to be physically healthy, and we want them to be sustainable. So we really want them to be like not having any financial tension. If someone is poor, it's not sexually attractive. Or struggling to make ends meet, or struggling financially, it's not sexually attractive. So can you get all this by not fapping is what I'm asking. If does not fapping make you like financially strong, or does it make you physically healthy? I don't think so. Just like don't fap and people get attracted to you. Where? What? How? It's like the law of attraction. Law of attraction says visualize and things will get attracted to you. And uh, no fappers are saying just don't fap and women will be attracted to you.
I,
No.
I think maybe part of it is because uh, there is an increase in confidence because now you are actively looking for a real person instead of spending time. I mean, of course, given that you have figured out your financial problems, etc. So maybe that is why they feel that it has.
Yeah. Look, people take anecdotal evidence and then they, they make it some kind of urban legend.
Hmm.
But but I don't think there's any real reason that not fapping will make you attractive.
Hmm.
I think you became attractive maybe because you started focusing on who you are. Because you didn't go on fapping, then you started thinking about who you are. And you started to enter into that. The most attractive thing is a person who is exactly who they want to be. And consciously, not unconsciously. They consciously know who they are, what they want in life. They're clear about it. That's so sexy, man. Whether it's in a man or a woman, it's so sexy. Because there's some purpose with that person. There's some clarity in that person. That's
Yeah.
very important. And I find people who are unclear really unsexy. Sometimes people got me all turned on by saying how clear they are. And then when I actually went to investigate, they were not that clear. That immediate moment, I lost my sexual attraction. And I say, okay, bye bye. I'm not sitting there anymore. Not for another second. So don't fake it.
I read this crazy idea yesterday that Nofap leads to increased luck somehow. Like good things, and multiple people have reported this. That as soon as they, do it for an extended period, maybe a couple of weeks or maybe a
Mm,
couple of months, they
mm,
notice that in terms of opportunities and in terms of things falling in their favor, it starts to happen as if their
mm,
luck has changed itself.
mm,
Is
mm.
there any truth to this?
Yeah. So I once asked my teacher, what is luck? He said, luck is finding the right teacher. People may not really understand what this means, but you get guided from inside and you can't fail, man. So When you're not fapping, you have a whole lot of energy to go and find the right teachers. So that could be on YouTube, that could be anywhere. You're just like, instead of looking for porn, you're actually looking for knowledge. And when you get knowledge, you don't fail. And when you don't fail, people say you're lucky.
Yeah.
That's the only explanation I can think of.
Yeah, it
Samir
makes
has a question. Can I take it?
yeah,
Does it make sense? Makes sense, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so that's what they're probably talking about, luck, you know. Samir is asking how frequent sex can a partner how frequently can sex with a partner be done to maintain a better health? Your health has nothing to do with sex. Uh, it's for your mental health, I guess. Okay, like as a workout, sex is nothing. It's nothing at all. It's not even burning any calories. Not much. Okay, and most people can't sustain it for more than 15 minutes. No, that's a long stretch. 5, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, they're done, right? So uh, don't link it up to health, okay? And don't be afraid that you lose your health either. If you're feeling horny, have sex. If you're not, then don't. It's so simple. But then these things need to be planned. And you need to get your other stresses out of the way. Stress is the killer of sex. Stress is the killer of sex, So if you don't have stress and you're having sex 5 times a day or whatever, it's no problem, man. You'll get hungry that much also and you'll eat that much minerals as well. What you've lost. But then you'll eat a lot of extra calories with it. Everything finds its balance. But please get out of these other stupid problems like earning a living and other such problems. Like being controlled by parents. And, people have all these kind of unsexy problems. They're not sexy, man. Yeah.
okay. So, uh, does it does Nofap lead to increased motivation and concentration? Is
Hmm.
there any basis to this claim?
Yeah, I mean, according to me, motivation is when you get in touch with your pain and actually feel it, then you can't sit, right?
Yeah.
For me, motivation is you put your hand on a hot plate and then it comes up all right. Whoa, that's motivation. You take action, don't think, you just do it. That's motivation. You get super motivated because when you stop fapping, you'll suddenly be in touch with your pain. But if you stop fapping and then you find something else other than fapping to
Yeah.
take away your pain, then you're not going to be motivated. Then you're not going to write that book and become famous. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And how about concentration?
Yeah, concentration is only lost when you have when you're avoiding pain. Only concentration is lost. If somebody says they can't concentrate, it's because they're avoiding pain. Because their whole mind is occupied in that circus of denying pain. So yeah, depends. Okay, so you stop swiping and you find something else to distract yourself, then these statements don't hold true. But if you don't distract yourself, you start feeling your pain, then you'll have immense concentration and great motivation. So people have seen a few people like that and they're like, oh, this is because of no fap, not because they got in touch with their pain.
So, if are there any withdrawal symptoms that one can experience if they suddenly stop watching porn or tapping, etc.? Like one that I could think of would be maybe that we discussed in one of our previous podcasts also
Hmm.
is increased sexual anger or maybe awareness of the sexual anger that they already have, which they have been denying.
Hmm.
So, are there any other such withdrawal symptoms?
No, what we call withdrawal symptom is just acute awareness of your pain. Yeah? You're aware of your sexual anger. No woman wants to sleep with you. And then you're angry. It's a good pain. Feel it. You'll act and you'll find solutions to this. You know. Feel it. You deserve to feel it. Then you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this pain, man. That's great. How do I remove this pain? By becoming worthy of sexual attention, which you don't have. How do you do that? Be who you are, truly embrace yourself. And then money will come. And then there'll be a stage where you don't have to really have the problem of earning a living. So there's no stress. And that's when you become even more attractive sexually. Because you'll spend some time in maintaining your body, looking great. You don't have these distractions. You know, people use sex and relationships as a distraction from their actual problem. Which they're not facing only. They're so scared to face it. Oh my God, it's like that's a real epidemic. Trying to reward yourself without earning it. Samir has another question. I thought it's linked to health because when I release, I feel sleepy or sometimes tired also. So sleep is an indication of better sex or something else. See, if you're feeling tired and etc. after sex, it just means you're not fit, man. Should get issues. You probably have diabetes or something. Go get yourself checked up. Get your blood test, check it up. I'll be happy to tell you what's up. I keep telling people if you want your blood test, just get in touch with me. I'll give you a link. Go to that link, book your blood test, get your blood test, send it to me. I'll analyze it and I'll tell you what's up with you. Okay, me or someone from my team will analyze it and tell you how bad is your health. After that, you can take whatever action you want and fix it. Okay, all right.
Okay. So, one problem that people face when they try to practice Nofap is if they fail at it, immediately they'll go into a cycle of guilt and shame of
Mm.
not being able to do it. And then they start relapsing again and again because now they want to avoid that guilt and shame.
Wow.
So, how can they deal with this problem?
No, these are the expert. They're like mosquitoes, no? You slap them like this, they'll fly over your hand. So they said, yeah, I'm going to stop Nofap, and then they did guilt and shame, which is another avoiding the problem. So they did guilt and shame for some time, and they came back to fapping, and now they said, no, I'll just to avoid guilt and shame, I'll be in fapping. Finally, the problem was not touched. The real problem, my parents don't respect me, wasn't touched. Or the real problem that I don't know how to have a conversation with women. That real problem, that pain was avoided completely and totally, completely avoided. And so no learning happened there, no evolution happened. There was no problem or pain to evolve. So the person remained as they are, maintain the status quo. So happy about it. That's definition of idiots.
Okay, what do you think about when you go on YouTube and when you go on these forums and all, they'll portray NoFap as this amazing thing which will give you supernatural powers. That's the
Yeah,
big
it's the new
idea.
law of attraction, I'm telling you. NoFap is the new law of attraction. You know what happened to law of attraction, right?
As
The Rhonda Burns wrote a book called The Secret, and then after that, the whole world said, "Oh, that's the secret. I knew it. That day I thought about this person, and he called me. And that day I just thought about this, and I visualized it intensely, and that same thing happened." And people started collecting all sorts of anecdotal evidence, and then they felt this is going to work, and this will be the solution to my problems. So I don't have to be of value, right? The reason you're poor is you're not of value to anybody. So no, I don't have to be of value to anyone. I'll visualize the check. Jim Carrey said it happened. So no, they forgot about how hard he worked and how much he made us laugh and how much value he was. No, they forgot about all that. They said Jim Carrey wrote a check to himself, $10 million, and then see $10 million. And to add to that, Jim Carrey also started acting woo woo after some time. I mean, even now he is. So he's completely woo woo.
yeah,
So there's a bunch of such rascals, right, who got together and made that movie called The Secret. And they all became rich. There, that's another kind of porn, man. That's another
Yeah,
kind of porn. Consuming law of attraction material is another kind of porn, which distracts you from your problems, right?
yeah,
So, no fap. Since someone got an idea, look, I don't want to watch law of attraction, ugly people talking about how that. How about we just talk about porn? We talk about no fap, and we combine the two. Let's combine fapping with law of attraction. No fap. They're the new swamis now. Semen retention. Oh, pull mercury up with your penis.
no,
Yeah, that's what they do. The yogis, these hatha yogis, they're not having any sex. They're just putting tubes up their penis and trying to suck mercury up and then getting mercury poisoned and then dying. Some are trying with milk and they're still getting poisoned with pesticides, antibiotics, hormones. Why? Why do you want to torture your penis? I can't understand. Why don't you just face the problem that your parents didn't love you? Then you can say, oh, I was absolutely no worth to them. It's just a burden. Shit. How can I be of value? Let me buy them a house. Maybe they'll love me after that. I don't know. Or maybe I don't need their love. Maybe I can get love from someone else. But whatever it is, solve your problem. Don't fap. And then don't no fap and then say, this is law of attraction. Oh, do whatever you want, guys. Like whoever's serious and ready to face their problem will evolve. Whoever's not won't evolve. They'll be there only or they'll devolve.
some of them connect Nofap with the practice of Brahmacharya.
Yeah.
And they say Brahmacharya could give you, I don't know, I haven't really looked into it, but could give you some sort of spiritual advantage, some sort of spiritual powers. So Nofap is another, it has some basis.
Brahmacharya are a set of practices done by those who create reality. They're the ones who shape Shakti into forms. And some of the practices of Brahmacharya are actually very sexual. You can do it with a partner as well. That's what Brahmacharya means. Acharya means what you do during the day. A series of things you do during the day, your daily routine or your rituals, they're called Acharya. Brahmacharya is for those, Brahma means the one who creates. The one who creates reality with the energy that Shakti is. They make matter out of energy. It has absolutely nothing to do with Nofap. Some of the brahmacharis I know from the mountains, the real ones, they're absolutely sexual. There's nothing non-sexual about them. Because sexual energy is what you need to create. All creation is done with sexual energy. What do you think it's done from? There's a lot of misogyny in this world. They want to deny the feminine. And the strongest point of the feminine is sexuality.
What do you mean by the feminine? Can you give a bit more context?
Shakti, the Shiva and Shakti, right? Shiva is the male principle. It's not sexual. But the male principle is more about stability. The female principle is sexual. Shakti is absolutely sexual. Shiva was sitting and meditating. Shakti came and like, come on, man. She convinced Kamdev to come and shoot his arrows. And the two other energies, Rati and Preeti, erotic energy and energy of affection, both of them came. And the poor Kamdev got burnt to dust because Shiva was not interested in sex. And then Then he got slaps from Rati. She said, "Hey man, if you're not interested in sex, you burned down Kamdev itself. How are the birds and bees going to multiply? You've killed desire only." He gets a scolding from Rati for killing desire, and slaps him for disregarding the feminine, Kameshwari, who was Parvati, the embodiment of desire, the source of all desire, sexual desire. So women are credited with that. It's not like blamed with it. In Hinduism, we credit women with sexuality, sexual power, and it's true. Women have it. We're not jealous of it as men. We're supposed to nurture it and admire it and worship it. But it's become like men have gotten jealous of women's sexual power, and so they try to denigrate any kind of sexuality to their own detriment. Who is suffering? Both are suffering. By men trying to create legends that eliminate the need for women. The Greeks tried it so much. They tried to be homosexual. They tried to say that the purest love is between a man, a younger man, and an older man. Because they're so insecure about women. They didn't allow women into the Olympic Games to watch it. So many religions allowed around the world putting restrictions on women. And so many nations around the world putting restrictions on women, ours included, which is a shame because this is not our culture. I mean, go and see the image of Bhadrakali with her chest on Shiva. What do you think that is, man? What do you guys think that is? Nofap. Understand who you are, who your ancestors were, how this world came to be. You were born because so many people had sex. Millions of people have had sex to produce you. You are the final sexual pinnacle of millions of people's effort over 1 million years. Millions of beings continuously having sex so that you can exist. It is Brahma. And Brahmacharya is the sexual path, not avoiding sex. You can thank me for this clarification. I'm a yogi. If you're ashamed of sex, be ashamed of yourself because you were born out of sex. Wait, here's a question since you've gone silent. So, having a sexual desire and having sex can deplete the spiritual power, or sex has nothing to do with the spiritual thing? I hope I explained it already, Samir. I hope you're listening to the slaps. And this is answered, right? Yeah. The most spiritual power is sexual power. It's the power between Shiva and Shakti. Hello. Is there any merit in saving sex for marriage? No merit. Also, when searching for a wife, should I avoid girls with a lot of sexual past? She'll be more experienced, dude. She'll know what to do with you. Why should you avoid it? What is wrong with you? Doesn't matter anyway. Oh God, it's so funny, man. Okay. But I hope I answered that honestly. See the misconceptions people have? The more sex negative you are, the more life negative you are, because life is sex. Life comes out of sex. Where do you think life comes out of? Unless you're an asexual bacteria.
Even they divide.
Bacterium, yeah, bacterium also divides, but not sexually. They don't have sex, they just divide. Right? There's asexual reproduction, but the rest of the world has come out from sexual reproduction. So what are you talking about? You're rejecting the whole world by rejecting sex. Except single-celled creatures without sexual organs.
So there's another, you know, I I don't know if there is any truth to it or not. That stopping to fap or no fap can improve someone's skin's complexion because they're not losing minerals, etc. anymore. Or
Hmm.
some other
I
kind of
think,
benefit.
yeah, but do we really lose some minerals? Yeah, we do lose some zinc and some copper, and which could be used to produce a collagen, which makes the skin. Um, yeah, maybe, man. So what? Just there, just eat whole grains and a lot of beans, and you'll get all the minerals you need to make collagens. Why do you need to stop fapping to have better skin? I have good skin, man. I'm not sitting and controlling my semen. You don't have to. You can be immortal, but there's a different way to do it. To be immortal, there is sexual practices, not stopping sex. Nobody said in the Yoga Sutra that Brahmacharya is stopping sex. It's not mentioned. Nowhere in no textbook ever found this. That Brahmacharya is stopping sex. Okay. Not only that, no teacher has taught me this. No genuine teacher. The idiots have taught me this. I've gone to many teachers, hundreds, and I found like maybe 6 real teachers.
There's also this legend, right? I think of Bhishma Pratikya and him being a
Hmm.
brahmachari.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is
So
there any?
he decides that he will not have children. Not that he won't have sex. He decides that he will not marry and that he will follow the path of brahmacharya instead of marriage. So you should understand that the path of brahmacharya is not possible for those who are married. That's something you should understand. And why is it not possible? Because your spouse will have too many objections to your sexual experimentation. And also, is one more thing you can realize that you should stop making kids and understand that sex is more than just making kids. To practice brahmacharya, there's a lot to it there's a lot to it, man. Right now, I'm teaching people Shiva Tandava Stotram in my classes. It's blowing their mind. And then they're checking on YouTube and saying, wow, why is nobody talking the truth about Shiva Tandava Stotram? What are they saying, man? And I'm like, hmm, why is it so hard to find a good teacher? Because people are busy distracting themselves from their pain. They don't want to find solution to the pain. Only those who feel their pain will have the luck of finding a good teacher. So I think we should totally feel the pain. How was birth control done in ancient times? By not ejaculating inside a woman. Simple. Right? And then there are ways that people, if you if you're truly sexually attracted to the person in front of you, you can ejaculate at will whenever you want. Those who can ejaculate at will can live at will and die at will too. Like Bhishma got the blessing from his father Shantanu that he can die whenever he wants. Okay, so yeah, and not birth control was not done in ancient times. That's why we have such a big population. Okay, I'm talking about brahmacharis who didn't want to have kids. They're the ones. And you can understand that, once uh, a woman is pregnant, she can have only one kid a year. And they used to have like 9, 10 kids and they would die. So they became sexually. Hello, can you hear me? Yuvraj, did he just vanish? Okay, Yuvraj is frozen. But I hope you guys can hear. Am I audio audible and visible, guys? Let me know, okay? Okay, so I was talking about birth control. Birth was not controlled in ancient times, and so women would start getting pregnant at 12 or 13 when they reached puberty, and they would give like in 9 or 10 births they would wear out, and many of those kids would die too. That's how it was, except for a few people who got onto their um, what do you call it, who understood what sexuality is, and they started practicing Brahmacharya, and they knew how to not get how to have sex without getting people pregnant without using any tools. Sounds like a weekend workshop, no? But it takes a lot. You need to be free of all your problems before you can reach that level of sexuality. All right. And not everybody can reach there because you're just too distracted with simple shit like making a living. Anyway, so I don't know what's up with Yuvraj. Let me find out on WhatsApp. Just hang on because I don't know what other questions he had. If you guys have any questions, ask. I'm happy to answer right now. Okay. But I think that was Yuvraj's like last question. So if anybody is has more questions, hey, Yuvraj is back. Welcome back. G- Oh, dude, you're suddenly the bat from hell again. Like, like that's how you sound. Okay. I hope you can fix the audio, bro. It's like no, still bat from hell. Wow, even I sounded like that. How are you doing this? Okay. Okay, there are some questions. I'm going to answer them while Yuraj figures out his audio, which is can the practice of teachings from Mantak Chia damage root chakra? Now, I don't know what you mean by root chakra, but I think if you want to know if Mantak Chia got damaged, you should look at Mantak Chia. Just Google, okay? Google Mantak Chia latest photos. Only the old ones are coming up. Because I saw a latest video of his and he's aged a lot, man. For someone who's teaching immortality and non-aging and all, he's become like really old. Okay. So I want to follow teachers who are immortal, who look like who are immortal, basically. That's where I'm learning my stuff from. My teacher's Mahathar Babaji is pretty much immortal. Okay. So can teachings damage root chakra? Nothing can damage chakras, man. Chakras are not things to damage. Okay. You can damage your body doing it. He's done it to himself already. Yeah. Okay. And by not ejaculating and still retaining the fluids, you know what you'll do to your wherever it's your prostate gland? You'll get uh, prostate hypertrophy. That's what you'll get by not ejaculating and retaining. So what it does is it will make you have a wet dream. That's it. So it'll release the pressure in a wet dream. That's it. You might as well have fapped, right? Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yuvraj is having a bad time. Great. Anyway, without high-speed internet, you can't fap. So Yuvraj is practicing no fap right now. Anybody else got any questions? Or shall we call it a day? It's almost 8 o'clock. I have a couple more minutes. Yuvraj is back. Hope he's not a bat from hell now. Hey, man.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're not a bat from hell. That's great. We can't see you though, but I guess that's because your video's off. Yeah, now we can kind of see you. Okay, great. All right. You're back. You're not visible, but you're audible. Do you have any more questions? We're almost at the end. We have like
Is it in any way related to the practice of Kundalini? I mean, sexual energy and the practice of Nofap.
okay. Kundalini is a serpentine energy. Yeah, it's seated at the perineum and the tailbone. It's coiled between the perineum and the tailbone, and it feels like a snake when it's going up your back. Literally, it feels like a snake when that energy goes up your back. And the reason
Like physically?
yeah, physically, you'll feel it. You'll feel it going up your back. It's a physical shake. You'll even get marks on your skin, on your back. So if somebody is having a kundalini arousal, you'll start getting things on your skin happening. All sorts of stuff happens. And it's a real transformation where a person transforms from um, un, unactualized to self-actualized, which means you become the power that you are. You realize that you have more than what you imagine, more power than what you imagine, and you're able to actualize that and have a conversation with Shakti, and then whatever you want will happen, man. Somebody who's got their Kundalini awakened. Yeah. So, yeah.
So is it
How
related
is it
to
related to sexual energy? Well, it's a redirection of your sexual energy. Uh, goes up the spine instead of going up other nadis, right? When you ejaculate, how do you feel the spread of energy? It starts from your penis and then spreads around your body. Sometimes goes all the way to top of your head, but it's not touching the spine. So when your kundalini is basically redirected sexual energy, so you'll have a spinal orgasm. You'll be constantly having a spinal orgasm, and that is a very distracting stage also. I mean, if you don't have a good teacher, then you won't know what's going on, and you'll do all sorts of stupid stuff, write stupid books, misguide people. That's what you'll do. But if you have a good teacher, without incident, that will all be redirected, and it becomes manifestation power for you to bring forth a different reality that you desire. So basically, you start having sex with the whole universe. You start reproducing things. You start producing things. You start creating things that never existed before. It's a very powerful state to be in. All the immortals are having, are constantly having this continuous spinal orgasm. There's so much joy and pleasure, bliss. But that doesn't mean that you can't feel pain. You can. You can resolve it in seconds and evolve to the next level. Everything becomes God mode. Okay, so these things do exist. However, it's it's discipline, humility, and honesty which will get you there. Honesty, very important. Okay, self honesty. Don't cheat yourself. Don't run from your problems. Face them. Do you think immortality is a blessing or a curse? I think it's a blessing because only those people who are capable of being immortal will become immortal, and they have to be like happy people. Only happy people want to be immortal. Unhappy people want to die. What the hell is this? See link in comment. Can't understand. Okay. What else?
I mean, I don't have any question.
Okay, let's call it a day then.
If anyone has in the audience, then they can ask.
Does the audience have any questions? That's what Yuvraj is saying. I know you can't hear him fully. We can't hear you fully properly. But that's what he said. Does anyone have any questions, or shall we call it a day? Wrap it up. Okay. Samir says, brilliant knowledge sharing. Guruji, thank you for the session. Good clarity on sex and misconceptions that I had on this topic are cleared. Great. Happy to be of use. Okay. If you got no questions, but you got value, please type NQGV and then hit share. Let's share the value if you got value. Okay. Yeah. What is this? Immortal people will lose the people they love. Mortal people will die before their eyes. Who becomes immortal alone? Get immortal with friends. Okay. What is this? But. Yeah, yeah. Never thought of that solution. Hmm. Look, it's really important to have people around you who love life. If you don't have that, you're going to be miserable sooner or later. All right? Great. Excellent. Thank you very much. When we mean immortal, like my teacher who's lived 1800 years, I'm sure he's seen a lot of people who thought they loved him die. And he realized that if they actually loved him, they'd be immortal with him. Okay? So it's all right. Great. I asked him once, what is death? And he said, it's sheer irresponsibility. Think about it. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a great day. A great
Thank you.
night ahead. Bye. Thanks, Yuvraj. It was great. Thank you so much. And hit share, all of you guys saying God value, not sharing. Slaps I'll give you. Okay, bye.